Hey, good morning, guys. It's Gary coming to you on Sunday morning here at the Oldbarn Homestead. And it was looking like it was going to be spring here for a little bit. It was getting nice and warm and sunny, and then bam, all of a sudden it started raining, or raining. Raining is what we say out here in the country. And so, yeah, it just got cold also. So, anyway, I'm about to finally get started. I've been a lazy ass this morning, getting the stuff going, just been messing around with video stuff and responding to comments and emails and that kind of thing. And you know, I've been thinking about this barn the last few days and what to do with it and how to, you know, when to get started on it and, you know, all that. And I really do want to get started on it. And I finally do have the plans, you know, the kind of the vision for how it's, you know, what it would be used for and what the plans for are it, and you know, how to go about it. And so anyway, it's cold out here. I'm gonna go head back in the shop and I'll chat with you guys a little bit about it this morning before I get started on the stuff I'm gonna make today. Hey guys, I just wanted to kind of talk about the barn a little bit, as I mentioned out there. And I know some of you are new to this channel. You've joined this channel first. And just to let you know, this is a kind of a behind the scenes or vlog secondary channel to my main metalworking channel. And if you are new here and you haven't seen the main channel, I'll have a link in the description and also a card on the screen pointing you to that. So be sure to go check that out. But to get back to the barn, I know what I want to do now with the barn. And you know, there's some early videos back when we first started building the shop about what was going to happen with the barn. And what I want to do is, of course, it's got to be completely rebuilt. And I want to do a post and beam construction, of course, on rebuilding it. And but you know, likely the exterior of it would be all new materials and repurpose all of the what's on the barn now that can be used on the inside, and just sort of rebuild the inside of it with what can be used. A lot of it is not going to be able to be used. It's just, you know, too far gone, but some of it can be for sure. And it's a very eclectic mix of things that are used out there. You know, there's just some, you know, cedar posts that they've used, you know, and various types of things that are used out there. But there's some nice, really 14-inch wide pine boards that are out there as well, you know, that make up the construction. That'll be pretty cool. But so what I want to do is get a one of those you know, kind of like carports that you can buy now pretty cheap for about, I think, $800 or $1,000, and get that set up. And get one big enough for what I need to do, and then take everything that I've got stored in the barn and put in the carport, because a lot of the things that I had in the garage I don't keep here in the shop because I don't need it. A lot of it was automotive stuff, you know, like engine hoists and just a lot of different pulley pullers and just tools and things for working on cars that I don't really use here that much. But I don't really want to get rid of it, because occasionally I do, you know, have to work on my own truck, or, you know, who knows, maybe someday I'll, you know, have another car project in here. If the right project and the right, you know, situation came along to do that, I probably would take it on. But so it would be sort of an iterative process. So get the carport, get it built, take the things that are in the barn that I'm storing out there, put them in the carport and completely clean it out, and then start the deconstruction. And as I'm deconstructing it, you know, label and sort and organize everything from where it came from on the barn, you know, because I think it would, you know, as I put things back together in the new facility, that it would be, you know, helpful to know that. And, you know, just sort of organize it out there on pallets, or move it somewhere where it's, you know, out of the way. You know, and then so work through a process of getting it deconstructed. And likely as I'm doing it, you know, the things that are just completely gone, go ahead and discard those, because, you know, I'm going to get to a point around here where I just have run out of space and I don't want to just completely clutter up the place. And you have to kind of declutter as you go, Otherwise, you'll end up with hordes of stuff that, you know, you just will be meaningless. But so do the carport, deconstruct the barn, and then rebuild a post and beam structure, and then reuse all of the materials that are on the barn now on the inside. So, you know, now I've been thinking a lot about it. I was thinking about, you know, well, that's something that summertime is coming up here. I could do, you know, late in the evenings. I love to get out and work in the sun, you know, but in the middle of the summer in Dallas, or this part of Texas I'm in, it's pretty unbearable in the middle throughout the day. But later in the day, you know, the sun's still out. You can get, you know, it's still quite warm, but not unbearable. And if I just spent an hour a day on that, you know, that's kind of what I've been thinking. But then it kind of comes back to, what is the focus here? You know, what am I trying to build a metal fabrication shop, you know, and try to build a business and build a YouTube brand and, you know, YouTube videos and channels and all that? Am I trying to do, you know, CNC metal art, or am I trying to do fabrication tools and kits? I mean, you know, at some point you gotta rein in the focus, and you can't be doing everything because you'll not succeed at anything. And, you know, I talked about in a previous video about consistency over time, you know, is really the key, is be very focused and very consistent. So I'd be curious what you guys think. You know, I'm in a position where, you know, things are starting to do well here. I'm getting, you know, more and more things in. My YouTube channels are doing good, you know, not great, but okay. And, you know, and that's a small source of income, you know, for sure, that helps out, you know, helps at least pay the internet bill and buy camera equipment and things like that. Or should I spend that time that I was thinking about, you know, dedicating to that, to putting more work into the effort of my videos, or making more products that I can sell and make obviously more money off of that, you know, and get to a place where my income is higher, so that I can afford maybe to get some help on the barn and pay for some of it to be done, rather than having to do it all myself, which I don't mind doing it. But at the end of the day, you can only do so much, you know, as one person, you can only do so much. Or do I hire somebody in the shop, you know, to do fabrication work, free myself up? You know, I think the bottom line is, I really want to do it. I just have to be patient, you know, and you know, if I just allocated an hour a day to it, it's not that big of a deal. But then again, what if I put that hour a day into something else that could generate money? Because the minute I start working on the barn, that is not a money-making proposition. That is only going to be something that will take money, not make money. Now you could say, well, I could film that and people would really tune in to a barn restoration, you know, kind of like SV Seeker and his, you know, project, or Brian Block, you know, big, huge undertakings that take place over multiple years, that you have a video a week on, or every few days on, or whatever, and to make money off a video. But again, it's those of you that make YouTube videos know that you don't really make that much money off of it. In fact, very little. Now, unless you get as big as SV Seeker, he's probably doing quite well off of his, for sure. So anyway, the ultimate goal with rebuilding the barn and its purpose there is going to be to turn it into a showroom for the things that we make here. You know, so the metal art, furniture, anything that we make custom that we'd want to display and sell, and then just have that open on the weekends. You know, for people to come in and walk through and buy things or just check things out. And, you know, and I think it would be a good branding thing as well, you know, to go along with the shop and, you know, kind of our theme here. The other thing I really want to do at some point is, I mentioned this in a previous video, is to get local kids, high school kids, college kids, to come and work and learn and, you know, and develop skills and, you know, create a place where people can come do that. I don't know exactly how I want to do that yet. I need to start making some effort toward it though. You know, I'm just down the road, just literally 2 miles from the local high school here. And I need to contact them and find out what their shop program is. A lot of schools across the country just eliminated, you know, shop and high school altogether. And some high school shops don't, you know, they're kind of limited in what you can learn there. Like when I was growing up, our shop class had mostly woodworking. The metalworking was just stick welding, and it was really pretty basic. So anyway, so if you think about, you know, sort of this vision for a place out in the country, there's kids involved in it, you know, learning and a part of it, and maybe even some of the things that we display in the barn store are things that kids made, you know, and it, you know, the goal is not to create some huge profit center and you know, money making thing here. I am not at all looking to get rich off of any of that. I mean, at some point, you know, in your career, you kind of have these aspirations to make a lot of money, or, you know, whatever. I don't know, as I've gotten older, I just don't, you know, I want to make enough money to be able to buy the things and do the things I want to do within reason, but they're not luxurious things. I have no desire to travel anywhere at all. I have no desire to buy a fancy truck or car or, you know, anything like that. I just don't need it, don't want it, don't care for it. You know, my truck's 10 years old, and it'll probably do well for another 10 years. But anyway, so I'm just, you know, kind of meandering, rambling here. I think for now I'm gonna keep focused on the shop, the videos, making things to sell, CNC art, you know, painting, all those kind of things, and continue to try to, you know, build things I can make money off of, you know, and be patient with the barn, but don't lose sight of it, you know. And so anyway, just a Sunday morning video. Hope you guys are doing good. If you're new subscribing here, check out our other channel. I'll have a card, links, and all that. Go check out our main project video channel, and we will go from there. All right, guys, see you.